The Houthis probably thought they were invincible, burrowed deep underground, shielded by thick slabs of concrete and enough earth to make a mole envious. But on March 25, 2025, that illusion came crashing down, quite literally, thanks to the United States Air Force and their not-so-subtle delivery system, the B-2 Spirit stealth bomber. This mission wasn't just another notch on America's counterterrorism belt, it was a flaming, 30,000-pound calling card addressed to Tehran. You could say this was more than just payback, it was geopolitics with a side of shock and awe. When pirates meet missiles. To understand why Yemen ended up on the receiving end of the US's most advanced stealth bomber, let's talk about the Houthis for a second. No, they're not a trendy new indie band, they're a militant group rooted in Yemen's Zaidi Shia minority. They have proudly aligned themselves with Iran's so-called axis of resistance, which includes other hard-hitting names like Hezbollah and Hamas. Think of them as the Avengers, but with rockets, ideology, and a serious grudge against the West. Since the Israel-Hamas conflict reignited in late 2023, the Houthis started launching drones and missiles toward Israel. Not content with just that, they also began attacking commercial vessels in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden. Their claim? They were blockading Israeli-bound ships. The reality? They ended up kneecapping global trade harder than a teenage boy hitting puberty in slow motion. By April 2025, they had attacked over 250 ships. Trade through the Gulf of Aden plummeted by 70% compared to 2023, enough to make any economist sob gently into their shipping forecasts. Enter Trump, stage right, again. In January 2025, Donald Trump began his second term, and in classic Trump fashion, he decided the previous administration hadn't gone nearly hard enough. So, in March, he signed off on a new wave of intensified airstrikes. Subtlety? Not in his playbook. While U.S. Central Command played coy and refused to confirm operational specifics, all eyes turned skyward on March 24 when 4 military aircraft took off from the U.S. mainland. After one had to abort due to technical issues, even B-2s get jet lag. The others, supported by refueling aircraft with call signs cooler than your gamer tag, buzzed 31 to 34, headed for the Indian Ocean via Guam and Queensland. Their destination, Diego Garcia. It's not a tourist hotspot, but it's definitely important. This British-controlled and Mauritius-contested island boasts the kind of runway that B-2s love, and more importantly, 6 of them were spotted there via satellite. The B-2 Spirit, your friendly neighborhood nuclear-capable bomber. So, what makes the B-2 so scary? Let's break it down. It's sleek, stealthy, and costs about $2 billion a pop. Developed by Northrop Grumman, this bad boy has a 172-foot wingspan, a range of 6,000 nautical miles, and can disappear from radar like your last Tinder date. It carries both conventional and nuclear weapons. Each aircraft is flown by just 2 pilots and is capable of delivering precision strikes from halfway across the planet. Its stealth comes from a combination of low infrared, acoustic, radar, and visual signatures. In simpler terms, it's the ninja of the skies, and it doesn't miss. The firepower. Initial speculation suggested the B-2s were loaded with AGM-158 Joint Air-to-Surface Standoff missiles. These missiles are essentially stealth cruise missiles that whisper, "You won't see me coming," before leveling well-defended targets. They're guided by GPS and inertial navigation, using imaging infrared tech to match targets like a facial recognition app with a vendetta. With a 432-kilogram warhead, each missile weighs over a ton and can hit within 3 meters of its target. These were used previously against Islamic State of Iraq and in Syria. Effective? Yes. Dramatic? Not quite blockbuster level. But then came the plot twist. Later intel hinted the bombers might have carried something bigger. Much bigger. The mother of all bunker busters. The GBDU-57 Massive Ordnance Penetrator is a 30,000-pound beast. At 6 meters long and over 12 tons in weight, it's the largest non-nuclear bomb in the U.S. arsenal. Designed by Boeing, this precision warhead is built to do one thing: dig deep and blow up whatever paranoid dictator or rebel commander is hiding underground. It uses advanced fusing tech that senses when it stops burrowing through solid matter, because timing is everything when you are obliterating a secret bunker. Each B-2 can carry 2 MOPs. The missile can penetrate up to 200 feet of concrete and earth before exploding with nearly 5,500 pounds of explosive force. Think of it as a wrecking ball that took steroids, yoga, and computer programming classes. Why Yemen? Why now? Now, deploying a third of America's B-2 fleet just to hit the Houthis seems like a bit of an overkill unless you're playing 4D chess. And that's precisely the point. This was not just about Yemen. It was a muscle flex aimed directly at Iran. With Iran edging closer to nuclear weapons capability and negotiations teetering, the U.S. was essentially saying, "Look what we can do to harden targets buried deep under dirt. Now imagine what we can do in Nations." Iran. On the nuclear edge. Iran is not officially a nuclear power, but it's hovering awkwardly close to the line like someone eyeing a do not touch sign. It has enriched uranium close to weapons grade and is widely believed to have the technological know-how to build a bomb if it chooses to. Their nuclear facilities, like Natanz and Fordo, are buried under mountains, reinforced with meters of concrete, and covered with enough earth to deter even the most determined bunker buster. But not the MOP Fordo, for example, is buried up to 90 meters underground. Natanz has layers upon layers of protection. Still, none of these can withstand multiple direct hits from MOPs. Diplomacy on a knife's edge. After rejoining the negotiation table in 2025, Trump shifted from saber rattling to olive branch offering, though he might have dipped the branch in gasoline first. Iran has made it clear that its enrichment program is non-negotiable. The U.S., on the other hand, wants enrichment halted and key facilities dismantled. Both sides are staring each other down like kids in a schoolyard standoff. Complicating matters further, Iran demands guarantees that the U.S. won't pull out of any future deal again. They also want the IAEA to drop its investigations into undeclared nuclear activity. The U.S., unsurprisingly, isn't thrilled with either demand. What's at stake? Fallout, both literal and diplomatic. Should diplomacy fail and the bombs start flying, the consequences won't be limited to a few craters in the Iranian desert. There's a very real chance that striking nuclear sites could unleash radioactive materials like cesium-137. Depending on the wind, weather, and other terrifying variables, this could affect over 40 million people. And the political fallout, equally dangerous. A direct strike could drive Iran to sprint, not stroll toward building a nuclear bomb, fueled by national survival instincts and an understandable dash of rage. So, what now? The fourth round of U.S. Iran nuclear talks concluded on May 11, 2025, with promises of further discussion but few breakthroughs. Iran isn't budging on enrichment, the U.S. is not budging on dismantlement, and all the while, the B-2s sit quietly on runways in Diego Garcia, possibly loaded with bunker busters, just in case the pen proves weaker than the payload. So, what do you think? Are we on the brink of diplomacy or detonation? Will Iran and the U.S. reach a nuclear deal, or will the B-2 spirit go from stealth mode to beast mode over Natanz? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into geopolitics, stealth bombers, and the world's worst game of hide and seek, smash that like and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss when we unpack global drama with a side of jet fuel.